So I'm on a mission. I think I said before, I'm a DC girly, and I very heavily favor DC comics over any other kind of comic, indie or Marvel, especially being the other ones I dabble in. And I just went through a little bit of a marathon kind of Marvel to see if I could find any that I liked, and it's not working out great, so I'm taking a break. But I'm on a very serious mission to find some Nightwing / Dick Grayson books that I like, because there's this phenomenon that happens where I guess it feels like in the Bat family, if you have a favorite character, it's really hard to find good books with them sometimes. They're basically at their best when they're background characters sometimes. At least that's what I found. I like Jason Todd a lot. I have not really liked any of his solo books. I love Damian. Damian Wayne is my very favorite. Wasn't super keen on his solo books. I like Batman and Robin a lot, though. I haven't read the new ones. That's beside the point. I love Dick Grayson. I think Nightwing is great and super lovable and just a wonderful character. I have never read Dick Grayson solo, so I'm hoping I can find a run that I enjoy. I would like to get into Dick Grayson, so as I'm sure I said in the clip before, I'm in my Dick era, trying to find Dick that I enjoy. I'm sure hoping that it doesn't fail. And here's the thing. I will admit this. Please don't make fun of me. So I'm not trying to be not like other girls or not like other comic book writers. I'm typically not very keen on the books that people really adore. Like everyone says that Batman Year One's like one of the best Batman books ever. I don't really like it that much. I don't like a lot of the huge ones. I do like Dark Knight Returns. I like The Killing Joke, sort of. But basically, there's this pattern of the most loved stuff. I'm not a huge fan of Hush. I think it was fine. Whatever. That being said, it turns out, and I actually just found out this the hard way the other day on Twitter. Apparently people think that Tom Taylor's like a huge joke as a writer, and I tend to enjoy his stuff. He did a lot of Injustice, I think, and he did, I could have double checked before I record this, but like the DC, the Deceased, the Zombies one. I thought he did the vampire one, but I think that's Matthew Rosenberg. But I like Tom Taylor. He's fun. If you don't like fun, that's on you. And I was the #1 Tom King hater on the whole planet, and I still think he's very hit or miss. If you can see that orange, that's my pumpkin pillow helping me keep my hand steady. Very sorry. So I've changed my mind mildly on Tom King. I kind of liked his Vision book, and I like some of his Batman run. I like some books of his here or there. Definitely not my favorite writer. My favorite writer is Peter J. Tomasi. I like Patrick Gleason also. Those are my top ones for Batman, specifically Damian. And I do enjoy a good Tom Taylor. I'm sorry, whatever. Call me a dork all you want. Doesn't matter. But I found out that apparently people really like to rip on those guys, because I think with Tom Taylor, it seems like he almost gets something really good sometimes, but then it kind of ends up being corny. But you know what? I like corny. And I say all this because the Nightwing run that I'm starting with is from Tom Taylor. It is the current run as of January 2024. They have a new one coming out on Sunday, which has a demon as a cat on the front, and I have decided that's where I need to start. The Rebirth run, I believe, is done by Tim Seeley, and I think I read a little bit of it because I have vague memories, but I don't think I liked it. So I'm considering myself Dick-free. I consider myself having never read Dick because I cannot remember if I did or not. So this is my goal, is to find a Nightwing run that I like enough to add to my collection, which I will show you briefly. I just reorganized it. These are my comic books. I am watching True Detective Season 1. I've never seen it before. But see, this is Superman. Obviously, I'm a big fan. These are my comics. This is how little space I have left. So as you can assume, I am a little bit choosy with what books I get because I am horribly low on space. My bookshelves in the actual library are also kind of filled to the brim, and I couldn't put comics on there anyway because they're too heavy. Why am I including this in the video? I don't know. I'm a little bit worried that this is going to turn out kind of boring because Sarah's not going to really be involved. Sarah's not a comic book girl. As much as I would like it, she is not. She likes... The heater just kicked on. I'm in Texas, and we're in the middle of a cold front, so pray for me. But yeah, I have on this iPad given to me secondhand by Sarah's father, the very first bout of my Nightwing search. I wanted to show you the background of this so you know I'm not... Oh my god! Just turned the camera on. I'm not a fake comic book fan. See? I have Batman and Superman. I don't know who did this art. I think I found it on Twitter, and it's stunning. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And my main picture on my iPad is Castiel. That's who I am as a person. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I'm going to go in on my Tom Taylor tonight. I don't know if I'll finish it tonight. It's fairly short, but I will pop in with opinion. I had a mini panic attack / stroke as I was saying that sentence because I was like, am I holding the camera the right way? Am I gonna have to re-record this whole thing? I can't fake any of this a second time, but it's fine. Am I gonna include this clip in the vlog? I don't know. Is it funny? Is it cringe? Comment below. Off to a strong start. The book basically opens with a bunch of thugs torturing a puppy, and Dick Grayson comes in and he beats them all up and then takes the puppy home. I've heard he is indeed the softest of all the members of the Bat family, and I was hoping that was true because I love each of them for different reasons. Oracle I enjoy, obviously, because she's like the only girl other than Batwoman who, honestly, I've read a ton of Batman. Batwoman almost never shows up. If you read a lot of DC, specifically Gotham, can you let me know if it's normal for Batwoman to not show up? Because I've read a ton and I can't even recall when she's showed up. Or Stephanie Brown, who's Batgirl, or one of the Batgirls. Anyway, yeah, but I love Babs, and I love Damian because he's so angry. I love Jason because he's sad. I love Bruce because he's also sad. And Nightwing so far is very adorable. If you want to make me like a character, have them save a small, cute animal. So having that be the first thing that happens in this comic was very smart, Tom Taylor. You got me already. Thank you so much for that. All right, so it's a little bit later. I realize I should probably say the plot of the book now that I vaguely know what it is. I didn't read the synopsis beforehand. I tend to not do that with comic books because I have Comixology, so if I see one that looks interesting, I just kind of grab it because it's sort of free. The plot is, I don't know how much I'm supposed to say about Dick Grayson. When he was a child, his parents were killed working the circus. They did the trapeze, the flying Graysons. They were killed. So, spoilers, but Alfred is dead. He was killed in the Tom King Rebirth run by Bane. And so, it's, I don't know how much later, but Alfred has left all of his money to Dick Grayson, and it turned out he had quite a bit of it. So Dick's trying to figure out what to do with all that money. Like, I think it's like billions. He's just very rich. So he's trying to figure out what to do with that money. And there is a killer going around stealing hearts from people, like ripping their hearts out with a machine. And also a relative of the person who is responsible for killing Dick's parents is the mayor. And she has turned out to be his sister, which I was enjoying the book. That seems a little cringe, but I have a bit left, so I'm going to see how it goes. So far, I really like him as a character, and I like all the character stuff. Tim Drake showed up. He was funny. All the character stuff's really funny. and that's what I was hoping for. So that's good. If the story's not as good, I can deal with it. I didn't realize that this was also setting up Superman, aka Clark Kent's temporary off-planet mission. For a little while, John Kent had to be Superman. You might remember those irritating, misleading headlines of Superman's gay now. What they were referring to is John Kent, his son, who was temporarily Superman, is bisexual, and everyone panicked and all that. Anyway, so John took over for Superman for a little while. I think that Clark was still in Action Comics, which is, I'm pretty sure Action Comics is to the Superman book as Detective Comics is to Batman. So it's kind of just more. I'm not honestly sure. But this book seems to be setting up Clark's off-planet stuff, which I think is kind of interesting. I know that in future trades, they put in one of the Son of Kal-El issues in the middle of some of these. I have the first Son of Kal-El book. I didn't love it very much, so I didn't keep getting them. And I think they canceled that book and they changed it to something else because there's a Superboy coming out, which is a different character. And they, I think, are calling the new ones Adventures of John Kent because he's not technically Superman anymore. I don't know what he is, but I know that he did a little crossover thing with Injustice, which, if you don't know what Injustice is, it's Mortal Kombat with DC characters. I have a lot of mixed feelings on it. I won't get into that now, but I just want to pop in to say that little bit. Are you kidding? This variant cover is amazing. I would do absolutely anything to have a copy of this variant cover. It's so cute. This concludes the first part of my journey to find some Dick Grayson books that I like. And I went to the comic book store on Sunday to buy a single issue of Nightwing for the thumbnail, because I thought it'd be fun to have, you know, a thumbnail where I'm actually holding one of the books, because I don't really have any Robin books. And the joke is on me because I already had one. So I'll show you what I found when I went to the comic book store. This is what I grabbed for the thumbnail. I think it's actually a really gorgeous cover for the current issue of Nightwing that came out last week. And I bought the one that came out 2 days ago, but it's not going to be here for a few weeks because we are having weather. There is a huge freeze happening, and they're just not doing good down here in the south. Anyway, this is what I got for the thumbnail. I think it's absolutely stunning. I think it's supposed to be Barbara, but I don't know because I'm not caught up. I only read the first 6 issues, and this is issue 109, so it's quite a bit ahead of me. But the Nightwing that I already had is actually from Night Terrors, the event that just happened. I have this beautiful cover of Dick Grayson. And then it turned out I also had one more from a book I absolutely adore, Robin and Batman, by Jeff Lemire. He also did a couple of, not a couple, he did a Moon Knight book I really like. And I want to include that because it's leaning more towards Robin, and I'm kind of specifically looking for him in his Nightwing era. So I have read the first trade of the current run. My intentions are to continue with this current run. I don't have any more as of now, so I have to go get them, which is why we're ending the video here. But my conclusion is I very much like Dick Grayson as a character. He's kind of the most lighthearted of all the Robins. Tim, I feel like, would be a little bit of a second. I'm just thinking of the boy Robins because I haven't read anything with Stephanie Brown. But I'm enjoying his personality quite a bit. I feel like he gets made into a joke a lot because he was the first boy wonder, so he's got the silly costume and stuff, but I think he's really great so far, and I'm hoping to continue enjoying the Nightwing books because I would love to have a bit of every character in the Bat family. I'm trying to get Sarah into comics now, but she's not, which is why she's not in this video. But I'm trying to have a nice selection to give her so that she can, you know, pick and find what she likes to see if she can get into it. My goal secretly is to convert her into a comic book fan, but it's probably not going to happen. She's always been a novel girl. I've been this weird hybrid thing, which is neither here nor there. This last bit is just to tell you that I consider the mission a success so far because I very much enjoyed this particular Nightwing. And I'm contemplating rereading the one that I read before that I didn't like, but I'm thinking maybe I should just move on with what I do know I like. So I'm not sure when the next part of this will happen, and I'm not quite sure what my next mini project is, but my major project for the year, because the year just started, is to read every single comic I have on my physical TBR. I have quite a few comics that I own that I haven't read, and I don't love that. So my goal is hopefully, but I guess I would say by the end of the year, but if I'm, maybe I'll set myself up for failure here. I'm hoping by the end of maybe spring, I would like to have them all read, because it's maybe 40 books, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. So I'm going to do a video on that, probably also by myself. So if you're here for the Sarah, I do apologize, but she's probably not going to be reading along with me. Trust me, I've tried. But thank you for watching. She has her outro, but I don't really do that outro, so I'll just say bon voyage.